This changes everything for the Toronto Blue Jays as following what was an unbelievable win. This team this year seems different, and they have reinforcements on the way that quite frankly change everything for this team. We're going to break down multiple Jays updates, including one crucial update surrounding Max Scherzer that is absolutely critical for this team. We'll also have a bunch of other updates, including an interesting note on Bowden Francis and some injury updates, as well as Spencer Turnbull, clarity on his role. Folks, there is a ton of things to go over today. But before we get into it all, if you're a part of the 71% who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Jays content. Your guys' support has been absolutely unbelievable. If you want to help us towards our goal of 20,000 subscribers, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, things are getting interesting. The trade deadline's a bit over a month away. The Jays coming off of a comeback win yesterday. I mean, yesterday's win was absolutely electric. This team is rolling. Hopefully they can take care of business tonight. But we have a ton of updates, including one that literally changes everything for not only the Toronto Blue Jays team right now, but their trade deadline plans going forward. And it starts with this, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, it feels like Max Scherzer is getting close. And we had an update from John Schneider yesterday, both before and after the game, surrounding Max Scherzer and his future with the team. And this is from Keegan Matheson. Shout out to him. Max Scherzer is coming. At least that's the plan. Well, Scherzer is now scheduled to make his first rehab start on Friday. And while the AAA Bisons, and if he only needs one more outing following that, it could put Scherzer on track to return before the end of June. So this is very crucial information. We're talking about the end of June here. That's 2 weeks away. If all goes well is the key here. Of course, we've learned along the way that Scherzer's recurring thumb issue can be complicated, and he's long highlighted that 50 pitch plateau is the danger zone. Only when he really cranks it up for a few innings has a thumb issue found him, not after short bullpen sessions. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking on the channel a lot about, of course, the big Sunday, I guess, not necessarily big league game, but of course, his rehab stint in his rehab game, which happened a couple nights ago. And we finally got an update on it. And folks, everything went according to plan. This is better than we all expected. It is better than initially expected. But also, ladies and gentlemen, this is just massive for this team because, again, he was feeling good following that session. I said it here on the channel. If he feels good, then you can really start to push him. The bullpen session slated for Tuesday or Wednesday is tentatively followed by a 60 to 65 pitch start at AAA on Friday. Would likely need 2 rehab starts before joining the Jays. So let's assume it's today or tomorrow that he pitches his bullpen session. You then have a AAA start on Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, that's whatever it is, June 15th, whatever the exact date of Friday is. You're then in a very, very good spot. It'll be June 13th on Friday. You can then have 2, rehab starts, and then you can start to return to the Jays. Again, like Keegan mentions here, finally a timeline, late June. This is ideal case scenario. And we're thinking about late June. Not only can Max Scherzer hopefully provide some depth to this team, because we're going to dive into Spencer Turnbull's role in a minute here, but he can change. I mean, if he's dominant out there, of course, it doesn't change the fact that the Jays need to go out and get a starting pitcher. That is absolutely true. What they also need to do is go out and find somebody that, can help take away some innings from, Bowden Francis even, and the bullpen guys. And man, oh man, this is just fantastic news. The most fantastic news we've heard. And you can see here from Blake Murphy and Julia saying, my sense that they are going to be pretty aggressive with Max Scherzer. And of course, you repair this from Blake along with the Keegan Matheson report. It seems like not only are they going to be aggressive with Max Scherzer, they have nothing to lose. He is on a 1-year deal. Of course, you don't want to play him if he's injured, but he is coming, and he's going to be coming fast because if you don't bring him back soon when you think he's going to be healthy, then he's never going to be fully healthy. He's 40 years old, approaching 41 years old. Bring him back, let the 41-year-old pitch, and see what he can do. I mean, he has to be better than a lot of the pitchers they've been throwing out in the 4 and 5 spots. And ultimately, just fantastic news that he's feeling good and better than ever. And kind of piggybacking off of that is Spencer Turnbull. So he joins the Jays in a multi-inning role per John Schneider. He'll likely pitch Wednesday versus the Cardinals with Eric Lauer also likely to pitch to be determined who starts. Now, this is not exactly what I expected. Now, of course, they made the Spencer Turnbull move. They kept Bowden Francis up. We have an update on him in a minute. But of course, with tomorrow night's game, I believe tomorrow afternoon's game it is on Wednesday, Eric Lauer, I would assume he's probably going to start because the Cardinals do have a bunch of lefties, and then they're going to piggyback Spencer Turnbull off of Eric Lauer. That would be the way that I go about it, simply because Eric Lauer has been very dominant in his time with the Blue Jays. Now, again, this isn't a permanent solution. It's going to be interesting to see how Spencer Turnbull actually plays with these guys because, with the Blue Jays, and against the Cardinals are a very solid team, a very solid offense. The Jays are a very, very good team now as well. They need some wins, right? And they need to continue to win. And I mean, they basically, signed Spencer Turnbull to be a starter, but also, again, he started half the games last year, was out of the bullpen half the games last year for the Phillies, but now he's kind of in this middle ground again where he's a long relief guy. I'd like them to figure out the starting pitching staff just as is and just figure it out and fix it because it's a very big problem right now. But I digress. He is going to be in a multi-inning role, and Bowden Francis as well is slated to make his next start versus the Phillies, per manager John Schneider. The Jays are balancing rest for the starters as they're trying to win as much as possible now, Schneider said. So, of course, this is alluding to there's an off day coming up after this series, I believe it is, on Thursday, and you got to balance, right? You have to balance the next series against the Phillies, a very good team. Continue to balance your starters, but at the same time, let Ross Atkins go out there and do what he does, which is hopefully make a move for a starter, because if you don't, you're going to be stuck in this purgatory of balancing your starters, destroying your bullpen, having Brendan Little pitch 37 pitches in a game, and have his worst outing of the year yesterday night, even though realistically it wasn't that big of a deal. But very interesting. I mean, the amount of updates we're getting now is crazy because we're having not only players start to come back, players start to inch closer to return. We have some minor league moves being made. We have a bunch of different things happening because it's the time of year where the Toronto Blue Jays are going to be active at the deadline, but they're winning so many games that each of these things matter. And Spencer Turnbull came out and spoke out about his stuff, and he said it's been a work in progress during his buildup. He tweaked his leg lift and how he loads his hips to try to get back to his normal velo. He's been feeling a lot better lately, even just playing catch today. So, of course, in the minor leagues, with his rehab stint in AAA, he averaged 89.2 miles an hour. That needs to be higher. His max was 92 or 93. He needs to get into the 94, 95 range. Just max, of course, but just get out of the, 80s for, average. That we're talking R.A. Dickey numbers here. Of course, Dickey was a bit lower than that, throwback. But it's hopefully he'll be okay. I mean, I'm curious now to see. I mean, we're gonna have 2 games. Hopefully, you win one of them between Francis and the Eric Lauer start, because I think at this point, with Scherzer on the brink of a return, with a bunch of injury guys starting to come back, Dalton Varsho, Jimmy Garcia, all these different guys, even Max Scherzer, Nick Sandlin, you're gonna slowly start to get fully healthy, and if you can just tread water in the meantime, remain in a playoff spot, you'll be in good shape. And speaking of, Jimmy Garcia and Ryan Burr playing catch in Florida with hopes of pitching off a mound. Sandlin is slated to pitch in AAA, and Santander is in Florida. So, I mean, a ton of different news here, folks, and it's getting a little bit crazy. I mean, lost in all of this, of course, not really lost last night, but all these updates is Alejandro Kirk becoming the second best catcher in the American League right now, behind Cal Raleigh, arguably better than Cal Raleigh, but he's having a crazy season. I mean, Kirk's average is up to 316. He was one of the crucial guys. I mean, he's the reason the Jays won in yesterday, night's game. This team has so many different weapons. You have Eric, not Eric, so I was going to say Eric Lauer. You have Dalton Varsho on the, injured list right now, waiting for a return, one of your best players. You have Jimmy Garcia, one of your best relievers. Nick Sandlin, one of your best relievers. Anthony Santander. I mean, imagine if he comes back, Santander that is, and provides his team with some even more power, stretch the lineup down, have Barger in the cleanup spot, because, Santander's a switch hitter. This team could be elite, and the vibes are high. Reminds me of 2021, or reminds me of 2015, 2016 a little bit. And we're having some, you get Max Scherzer back. I mean, it's going to be the vibes if Max Scherzer comes back and he's fully healthy and, feels great and is pitching great. They're going to be unmatched. So let me know down below what your thoughts are. Also, a quick note as well. We're going to have a full video coming on this soon. Trey Savage was promoted to Double-A, so he's going to be starting. We're going to have a ton of updates on this because he is making a quick transition through the leagues, as I predicted he would. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know down below what your thoughts are. A ton of different reports, a ton of different rumors coming out. We're going to keep you up to date with all the latest trades. Going to be coming soon. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.